are recording. Welcome back! I know we've been on hiatus. Candi had the plague. I had some shit to do. Yeah, Candi had like real bad plague. So
yeah, wear your masks.
Yeah, wear your masks, guys. Candi had the plague.
Yeah.
And she gets like rabies. So you don't want to not wear your mask around Candi or her ilk.
Yeah, you don't want the rabies to mutate and become the ultra mega super rabies.
Even my chameleon is wearing a mask. So
masks are important.
Yes. So we had an election. I've been building a room on the side of my house for various reasons. And Candi had a plague, and we have a special guest today.
We do.
Introductions. This is Glampa.
Do I say things now?
Yeah, you can say
yes,
things.
You say things.
Yes, now you say things.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Hello?
On. Go ahead, Glampa.
Oh my god, I feel like Judy at Carnegie Hall. Hi. How's everybody doing? Oh, look at you. Isn't that nice? I've got nothing, but I'll imbibe in spirit.
It's all good. I've got 5 o'clock happy hour coming in mere
moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm thrilled to be here with two of my favorite people.
And we are so excited to have you. You've been on the guest list in our heads.
In our heads. The guest list right in our heads.
So we should probably explain the whole Glampa thing.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Would you like?
So, okay, so I am a mere 45 years old, and yes, I am a grandfather. My husband has a child from, she's years before I met her, when he was still doing the ladies. She is a lovely, lovely slip of a girl, and she's gonna kill me, but so she decided she was gonna move in with us in New York, and she did, and she got pregnant within 2 weeks, and she had a beautiful, darling baby girl, 4 months premature. I know, right? Ow. And she is amazing and wonderful now. Now she's 4 years old, but it's like, grandpa and grandpa is like sort of a little confusing. So she said, what about Glampa? And I said, oh. And in my head, of course, she just made that up, and it was fabulous, and nobody's ever said anything like that. Like I was like, this is amazing. And, so I, thank God I got the domain name before so it's Grandpa and Glampa, which, still sounds like blah, 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 blah. Her words are a little mushy, but she's doing great. So that is where Glampa came from. And then I decided that since I quit the showbiz, I decided that I was going to be an advice columnist extraordinaire, and I created Just Ask Glampa. That was my, and for about 3 weeks, I got a load of questions, and then it all dried up.
As the internet does.
But it was
as the internet does, yeah. But your advice was, one, hilarious.
Thank you.
It was pretty
but it was also really good advice. It was well thought out. Like, I encourage everyone to email him.
I appreciate that. www.justaskglampa.com. But it was just a thrill. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been a total clusterfuck of a wreck my entire life. Like, literally, like I've got I've got not a visible vein left in my body. I've wrecked the whole thing. Yeah, we did it. We went there. So, and it's and I said, I may not give you great advice, but I'll tell you, I'll let you know what not to do.
Right.
Whatever. But I'm just so Glampa stuck. So that's what we're going for.
But I think it's also important to show what recovery looks like, and you have recovered. And
it's been Hey.
It's not easy. It's a struggle to have. So holy shit, you did the work, dude.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm not dead, so I'm doing something right. Even if it's just just what it is. What it is. I'm thrilled. I'm married. We are landlords. I went from being a show, from being a. I gotta shut the notifications off my phone. I went from being like, a Corrine being a landlord in Pennsylvania. Who the hell knew? In rural Pennsylvania, they see us coming a mile away.
Oh, I bet they do.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. It's just like we got here, and like there's like a Walmart, a grocery store, and like 75 gun shops and bait and tackle. You know what I mean? Like, that's really, like, I had no idea. Like, I thought I was moving to Philadelphia. I'm like, Coaldale, bitches, Coaldale. I'm like, what is a Schuylkill County? I'm like, what does that mean?
That's
a lot.
There's a coal mine.
Suzi, when I met you, we didn't even have the houses. I didn't even, because you came into New York that day, and when I met you both that day, yes.
Yep.
Remember, I was still.
So we've been friends on Facebook for a while, and you were.
We've been friends on Facebook since like 2012.
Yeah, for like ever, and then.
But we didn't get that, or maybe even 2011. But we didn't get the houses until 2015. So when I met you in like 2013, these weren't even a thought in our head.
Yeah.
It was
we
crazy.
Ended up meeting because you guys are still in New York.
Yeah, we still are. That's where we live, but we just manage the houses. Greg's mom is here. And of course, Candi and I have the Long Island connection.
Yes, we do.
Yes, I grew up. Well, if you're one town over from Manorville, I grew up in Coram. So
I used to live in Coram.
Shut the front door. Where? Well, you don't have to tell me. We'll talk in private. You don't have to give me old addresses.
I used to live right
all
near.
Of a sudden, people are like, and then what are the last four digits of your social security number?
Yeah, right. I used to live.
The street you grew up on and your last four digits.
What's your password?
God, what was the name of that? It was condominiums. It was like
like Artist Lake.
So it was like allegedly an over 55 community, but like my ex's dad owned the condo and we just lived there. I'm
trying to think. There's Artist Lake. That's a condominium.
It wasn't Artist Lake. It was
Bretton Woods.
Yes, that's where.
Oh, shut the front door. I grew up 5 minutes from there. All of my dearest, all of my great friends in high school lived there. I was there all the time in the clubhouse, that pool.
Yeah, my daughter loved the pool.
I love it. It's great there. It's a wonderful place to have kids and grow up. What happened?
I said it's a small world.
Oh, I thought you were giving me like code, like keep it a little quieter and try and stay in this camera frame. I thought you were doing like,
No.
No. You be you.
Yeah.
You.
There's a total New York connection for all of us.
I'm a 200-pound gay man. There's only me.
Wait, what? You're 200 pounds?
So,
Hi.
This is fabulous. I'm loving it.
So I have some questions for Glampa / Jared.
Yes.
So how have you been coping with COVID and being under?
Well, as my husband likes to say, we've been social distancing for the last 6 years. So, we're landlords here, and the block that we have, we've got, there's small little like bungalow houses. They're all right here, and they're the whole block. So we're getting knocks on the doors a lot. So we sort of like we close the shutters a lot. This house is like it's like a fortress, and every window has shutters, and it's dark as night all day long if you want it to be.
Oh, no.
So we love it.
That sounds ideal.
It is ideal, and it's such a great thing, So we don't really there's that internet meme that's going around. I'm so stressed that I'm going to reach 270 before the president. That's basically how I've been coping with the COVID. My treadmill literally broke a week after we were quarantined, and nobody would come fix it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? That I buy this treadmill a month ago, and now nobody can come. It's broken when I'm stuck in my house. So we've just been sitting and eating and doing and stuff and whatever. It's and like blowing our heads off at people that are not following the rules that are set forth by the people that know better, which is the most infuriating thing. Gregory had a cousin that died. He had almost all of his nephews and nieces, who most of them live in New York, have had it. One of them's a nurse. Yeah. I've had so many friends, like just literally like go batshit about this. Like, my liberties are being infringed upon. I'm like, who? And they're like nurses. I'm like,
Yeah,
it was. It's baffling. I was in a New York emergency room because I had to have.
I remember that with your tooth.
Yes, thank you. Yes, my tooth. The guy from my dentist wouldn't see me or couldn't see me, and they said go to the emergency room. I was in there for about 10 minutes, and they just said, they walked in, they said, just have a seat. And this was in Astoria, and they just said, just have a seat. They didn't want me to check in. They said, we'll get to you when we get to you. And they were just pulling people. They said, like, they were just saying, like they were pulling people basically by like the best as they could, like who's been here longest. This was an honor system. It was just, I mean, everything was tarped over. It was, and this was in March, you know, before even the lockdown was put in place, and it was staggering. So when I saw people, people in other parts of the country who had not been hit yet, Georgia, Florida, sort of being so cavalier about what was going on. Like, I'm not gonna wear a mask because I can't breathe and my glasses fog up. And I'm like, oh, and I mean, I went from 0 to 60 in like seconds. Like, I was like, I went past snarky. I went to just from 0 to raging furious without like, because usually I'll throw in a little snark just to sort of like maybe like a little shame to them, like a little shade on them, you know, just to sort of be like, really, girl, you know, something like that. Or, you know, and everyone's girl when I say girl, it's not a gender thing, by the way. I don't want, you know, like everyone's like, really, girl. Okay. Like I had my fuse was completely burned through. And that was like, I did not deal well with that part of it. The slap in the face to the people that are busting their ass and dying to keep other people safe was my. I always thought like you know, like of course yes, there's good in people, and I try and you know, and I believed that there was good in people, and I tried to see the good in people. You know, when in my 20s I used to do that, but then I guess I got jaded along the way, and I just said, you know, people are shit. Not all, but some people are shit, and you know, it all started for me like when marriage equality became like a hot button issue in like 2010, and all of a sudden, like every day for 3 years, I was like some fucking Republican legislator was telling me that I should not be valid, and it took me down. It really took my whole like worldview down for a while, and I went right back there when the COVID kicked in. It's rough. It was rough.
My favorite part was the "my body, my choice" people. And I'm like, you are the same people who
want to regulate our bodies
and decide what's good for her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you not seeing the irony here?
Like, or they were purposefully doing it ironically, and that was even more of a slap in the face. It was like,
it was like, dude, you're worried about, you know, and I've, you know, bad Suzi. I read the comments and I responded repeatedly.
I think we all have at some point.
You. Wait, no, there you are. You.
Yeah, I know. Me
not to read the comments.
One of my responses while it was on a Friday, I had been imbibing, and I lost my patience. I absolutely lost my patience, and I wrote a dissertation of disgust, and just completely tore this person down. And then after I posted it, I was like, you know, that was bad. I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
But I'm glad I got it
leave
out.
It.
I'm glad I got it out. They are not going to understand half the words I just used.
Right. And, you know, and sometimes like I'm like my thing is like I'm happy to be the asshole in the room if it gets the point across. Like, you know, what is that thing? Like, you're looking for the tolerant left? Well, they're the fuck over there, because that's not me. I'm gonna get the fuck out of my face on, you know, left. That's where I am at. Like, really, like, I'm just not, I'm not that, like, it's so funny because, you know, the Facebook memories come up and you see, you know, like all the things that I used to write. I'm like, oh, I used to write these long, luxurious, articulate things, and then all of a sudden, I just went from being like an open-minded person to being like, oh, like this snarky asshole, and I'm like I saw the evolution of it. I'm like, wow, it is just, you know, I used to actually have a thought process and share ideas and blah blah blah, and nobody gives a shit. They just,
There's
nobody cares.
Yeah, there
Some
used to be
people,
discussion. There used to be an exchange of ideas, and then it
Mhm.
became you don't listen to
Then
me,
it became fuck
and
your
you don't just
feelings.
accept my ideas
Mhm.
blindly, and therefore
Right.
you're not my friend. And it's
Right.
like, well,
Fuck
that was never
fuck your
friendship
feelings.
to
Yep.
begin with, then.
Yep.
So
It's amazing.
there's the
It's back.
door.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean I have been curious as to what Glampa has been up to, and so I guess the final question that I have, because we're running out of time, is
Okay.
what are you reading?
What am I reading? You are a sneaky.
I see the flames behind
She's
her.
really trying to I'm like filibustering with my laugh. I'm like, I'm a bad reader. I'm a bad reader, and I'm just the kids. So hold on. So I'm reading. Currently, I'm reading a CNN article. Like, hold on.
But you
And
watch a lot of news too, and
I'm a
consume a lot of
news
information.
junkie. I'm a news junkie. I like get up, and the first thing I put on is because I go to bed at like 8:30 at night. So I go to bed at like 8:30 at night. So the first thing I do when I get up is I put on the previous night's Brian Williams, and that's what I do. And I literally stare at Susie's book, which I have a hard copy of next to in my dresser next to my bed, and I also have the entire digital series on my what is that called, my Kindle app, and I stare at it and I go, oh, tomorrow on the treadmill, and we all know how that. So
Your treadmill's broken, Glampa.
What did you say?
I said your treadmill's broken.
Exactly, and therein lies as I said yesterday, the vivacious cycle, not vicious, but vivacious cycle that I've been a part of. Yeah, and I've been so that's what I'm not reading right now. I'm trying to look up. I can't even find my.
Susie, what are you reading?
On my phone. What was that?
What am I reading?
Yeah, Miss Gotcha questions.
I am reading The Dante Club. I'm also reading a few other books at the same time. One of them is The City of Falling Angels, and Demon at the Window, and please go. No, you can't be on camera. Not this time, okay? I'm also reading a lot of textbooks because I'm designing a course.
Oh, what are you designing a course for? May I be the question?
For teachers. I'm designing a course for teachers.
But
so
I mean, I'm sorry. What is the course? Are you allowed to say what it's in, or do you not want to?
Oh yeah, no, it's the basics of course design. So
so it's designing a course about designing a course.
Yes.
Okay, so that's like some.
So that's like her job. That's like what.
Yeah, that's my day job.
Yeah.
My day job is working with faculty members at a college to get their courses to be
okay. Okay, that's pretty fascinating.
Because I get to work with like a lot of amazing rock star faculty who.
Yeah, and you're not hindered by subject matter.
Not at all. No.
Right. So that's pretty so it can be just like all the things like from a gym teacher to like science nerd galore.
Yeah, because they're the subject matter experts in their field.
Right, of course. So you're not there. Yeah,
I'm the expert in course design.
It's like people that I remember, what's that girl that she girls she does girls. She did Girls on HBO.
Leah Dunham?
Boobies. Yes, Leah Dunham. She always showed her boobies. That's why I just remember that. She said, like, she was talking, I think it was, maybe it was Judd Apatow or somebody who's sort of her mom. I saw that. That was, that she's like, listen, I know how to write. She said, but I didn't know how to arc a series. You know what I mean? She's like, I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. So, so it wasn't about what she was writing. It was about where where to do what, It's like somebody like, who wrote, the Murdered Metatron. Did I get it right?
Yes, you got it right.
Okay. Who writes, a 4-book art series that, you can't spill it out in the first book. No. You gotta make your friends read 4.
Not 5. Not only that, but I don't know that there's going to be more.
Right.
The first one.
Oh, you do. So you did that way. You did it. You didn't do it as like you didn't like what did she do? She wrote the Deathly Hallows, and then was like, I'm gonna split that shit in half, and I'll make you read both.
It's true. I don't do that though. I find
you just go with your flow.
Yeah, I do. The characters kind of tie me to the chair and make me write. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. There's another book.
That's a picture.
I have to say, it's been very fascinating, even in the little bits of blur. Like when I went back to school for a bit, and I'm in a hiatus from that right now. Going back, I think next year. But like I took just English. I had an English credit that I had to get from my undergraduate, and some of my basic English credits, and I was like, oh, like the words just come, like it's amazing. Like it's just like, and whether or not it's good or bad, I enjoy it so much. Yeah, and I don't give a crap. Like that's what when I was singing, and I was like, I don't care. Like I used to do my shows. I was like, I love to do this so much that I don't even care if you like how I sing. Like that's secondary for me. It's just about having a good time and sharing with people. Well,
it's like people ask me like, oh, how much money are you making? You must be a famous author if you keep doing it. It's like, no, I make enough in royalties every quarter to get off the dollar menu at McDonald's. I'm not in it for the money, obviously.
Right. It's just there's a legacy now too.
Well, it's like I'm gonna write. Regardless, I'm going to write. I might as well publish it and share it.
If you can't, listen. If you have the apparatus to do so.
Sometimes publishers like what I wrote. I said sometimes publishers like what I wrote. Sometimes, associations like what I wrote. Sometimes Ellen Datlow puts it on a list.
That's how it goes. Hey.
Oh, looks like we got 10 minutes.
10 minutes left.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was that's what I've been reading. Candi, what have you been reading? Now that you've been bedridden with the plague.
Well, I have been reading this book. It's called She, and it is actually more of like a nonfiction book. It's about dark goddesses and how they have evolved over time. And it's a history of like each different one and meditations to connect with them and things like that. And then I've been reading a lot of subtitles because I'm taking a course. So I have been really interested in like expanding, and I want to do watercolor, like really do watercolor. So I'm taking a course. But the teacher is actually from Mexico. So she speaks Spanish. So the course, like you hear her speaking and you read the subtitles to actually get like I know some of the words, but not enough. And she talks really fast. So I've been reading subtitles while I take this course. And it's the basics of like how to define your palette, as far as your colors and your style. And then I've got botanicals, and I'm doing a few other things as far as design and digitalization and things like that. And I'm sure people have noticed, been doing a lot of digital artwork.
Your digital artwork is phenomenal.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm having such a good time with it. A lot of it is from photos that I have taken. And some of it is freehand and some of it is designed, computer assisted, but it's a good time. So I've been reading like how to do that. Basically instructions. I've been reading a lot of instructions.
There you go. There's a lot of instructions to be had.
There are.
There's occasionally days that I look at the help documentation on Adobe Photoshop. And I've been working with it since 1998.
Oh, I'm not using Photoshop. I'm using Corel
Draw.
Paint Pro Ultimate.
Ooh,
Or Paint Shop Pro, I'm sorry. Paint Shop Pro.
Oh,
so
that
fancy.
sounds very fancy.
Yeah.
It is very fancy. I invested in a new computer, and because my laptop has been busted for years, so I finally replaced it, and I invested in some good artistic programming for it because I wanted to start to learn digital art.
Nice.
Fabulous. Well, from my novice eye, I would like your art is like I would buy it good. Like I love it. No.
I hope so.
That's the point. No, but like I've got friends that I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like send me a picture, And then there are people like, okay, I would like to commission a, like
right.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
Wonderful.
Thank you very
It's
much.
wonderful. My pleasure. My pleasure.
But it's another one of those things, like Susie says, she's gonna write, I'm gonna draw or paint or something with my hands. Yeah, I'm gonna art, exactly.
It's now a verb.
Do on. Come on, do on.
Yeah.
Come on, do something. Make art.
Right? Oh my God.
My son's
Do Pippin.
Oh,
sorry, that's I like everything I say is a line reading from a sitcom. So like I'm like, what was Duart? That was the nanny. She met Ben Vereen. Do Pippin.
Yeah. The nanny named Fran.
Yep.
Those are my people.
Fran Drescher's.
My Aunt Linda is Fran Drescher. Jared is Aunt Linda. Give me a kiss. I'm like, oh my God, why with the juicy mouth, Aunt Linda?
But you know what? But we have like 5.5 minutes left, and in that time, we should again mention email Jared at it's justaskglampa@gmail.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're so sweet. I love it, and I love it.
www.justaskglampa.com.
Yeah, all the archives are there.
We will put links in our description box and stuff. And I really highly recommend. The advice is free. It's good, and you can ask about anything safely.
And it's entertaining.
I've had friends that have been like, and I answer literally every email that I get because I mean, it's not like I got this. It's not like. This is jerk. Anyway, so I've got friends that will they try to be like sneaky, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna ask you something stupid, ha 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 ha. It like the archives are kind of fun if you want to check out the archives on the website on my little Fugazi website that I made.
Yeah, but I think I really want you to be able to get started again because you make it a safe place, and you're very even though you might be a snarky old bitch, you're still very kind and gentle with the answers. Like you give a lot of consideration.
I've adopted as Glampa.
That's amazing.
I figured I don't want. Well, I am a snarky old, like I would use another word, but I will use your word. But I'm a sarcastic asshole, and sometimes that's what I need to be. But but that's not a place where you want.
But it's all in fun. It's all in fun.
Of course,
too, and
yeah. Listen, I will always pepper things with a little bit of zhuzh that I got. But I never want to make somebody feel bad about something they're talking about if they're genuinely like asking something.
No, you're very kind and considerate in the way that you do it, even though you throw in the jokes.
Yeah, the jokes. Sometimes I remember I had a dear friend that she was one of the first people that wrote in, and she asked me a question, and I was like, well, you might have screwed the pooch with this one. Like I sort of emailed her back, and I was like, were you okay with that? She's like, no, it was all right, it was hilarious. But I also don't pull any punches either, so oops.
That's what people need.
Yeah. What'd you say?
That's what people need.
Oh, I said that's because you bleed. That's what I heard. I'm like, I bleed. My blood on the paper.
My heart's full of blood.
Lego Batman.
Lego
Batman. Okay. So I'm so glad that I woke up from my nap.
I'm glad too.
I'm glad too.
Yeah, we took a quick nap, and I was like, oh, half an hour, about 1 o'clock. And all of a sudden, it was 3:15, and I was like, oh,
I
mother!
hate
Thank
that.
God I made my hair mistake because it was an easy transition. And I was so excited when you guys asked me to be part of this.
Yeah. Well, we'll have you back.
When you said yes, and you wore your Lego Batman shirt.
Yes, and my tatas.
And there you go.
They're
It's all
important.
about the memories.
They're important. They're always there.
Behold the power.
Behold!
The power of the manneries.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Anyway.
So thank you for coming on, and
Thanks so much.
will not be the last time. Promise.
Oh, I would love to. Anytime you want, I'm here just to play and laugh and giggle.
Yay.
And maybe I'll be reading something the next time you have me on, Miss Kaylee McEnany, with your sideways questions. See, I still act as if I have hair. I'm like, yes, like putting it behind my ear, shaking my mane, like my ravenous mane. Ravenous. That's really not the right word, is it?
Don't you mean glorious?
Yeah. Glorious.
Ravenous are you hungry?
I know,
honey?
that's why I said, yeah, ravenous. What would I mean? Not glorious. I think I just saw like that was the like I was like ravenous, glorious, all the things. Like, I don't know, it's just words. They're just words. They mean whatever I say they mean. Listen, alternative facts.
We are about to get cut off, but thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Love it all. Love you.